Howdy, howdy, howdy. Y'all doing all right?
What's going on?
Think we got everything going. It looks like our sound's on. All right. Let's see what everybody's saying. Where y'all at? Stand the man, we just got here. How's it going, Nick? Muddy Ducks. Muddy Ducks, I seen a cool Tumblr that you did. I think you posted it today or yesterday or something. Let's see. Bruce is over in Scotland. Hello, Bruce. Richard, how's it going? Hope everybody's doing good. We got some questions.
Yep.
Before we start the questions, the bear rep came yesterday. We got 50-something bears ordered. He said most of them will ship like this week or next week, so we should have them within about 3 weeks.
We hope.
Let's see, the new top one, what's it called? The Refine. Looks cool. Had a tiny bit of vibration, but I ordered a couple. Really impressed with the new species, which is going to be their $400 and whatever package bow. We sold a lot of them last year, but they've updated it, so yep. I'm curious. I think it'll be a good bow. Really impressed with that whitetail
Legend Pro.
Legend Pro. The one he brought at least had zero kick, zero. I mean, it was nice.
It was.
For around that $500, a little over $500 price range. I think it's going to be sweet.
And he also said that, I can't remember if it's all of them, but I know a few of them you're going to be able to put a limb stop on it instead of the cable stop.
Yeah. Let me get my thing going here. Okay, nope, messed up. The Legit's now offered in a cool looking electric blue color scheme, so we've got a couple of them. We got the Prowess, the ladies bow, this gray and this cool blue. It's going to be some neat stuff. So hopefully within about 3 weeks we'll be getting them in. I'll throw some videos out, and we're kind of talking about, I've never sold them online before, but I've thought about in the video putting them on the website where you can just click the boxes. I want this, 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 and this, and if somebody wants a bear bow, they can order it from us and it not just be a local thing. But we'll see. I ain't sure how I'm going to do all that yet. What's going on, Perry? No trouble yet. We just got here ourselves.
What up?
What kind of questions we got?
Oh, let's see. First one I got is from Chuck. He says, I think bow prices are getting ridiculous. What do you guys think?
I agree.
Yeah, they getting on up there.
I mean, I've been saying it, but as long as people keep paying it, they're going to keep going up.
Yeah.
You know, at some point, I just feel like at some point people's going to be like, nope, and I don't know when that's going to be. And I remember when Hoyt came out with some of their carbon stuff, and it was, you know, around that $1,500 mark, $1,600, and I was like, oh, they won't sell many of them, and people were bringing them in left and right.
Yep.
So I guess it's just whenever people quit paying $2,000 for a bow, I guess is when they'll start making them cheaper. But
well, you know, PSE, they just dropped the Levitate. It's a $1,900 bow.
I'd like to shoot it.
Yeah.
But it don't look terribly different from the Mach 1, so I was hoping for a little more. We'll see. Just bought my son and I bear legits that we're getting for Christmas. We'll be stalking hogs. You think you can get 230-ish with a 600 grain arrow? I think so.
And I can't remember what it IBO'd at.
Richard said PSC's got to charge that to pay Dudley's huge salary. Well, and that's what I told TJ. You know, PSC's got to make their money. Who knows what Dudley, I mean, I'm sure it's not a crazy amount, but Dudley's obviously making money off the knock-on being on it. So by the time everybody collects their money, that's what's got it at $18.99. Mr. Muddy got his first coyote on the corn pile. Heck yeah.
Yep. We got Larry getting in with, talk about Raven. Is it really a $2,000 crossbow that can only be shot 100 times between $200 string changes?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I tell everybody there's two types of Raven people. One is the guy that buys the Raven, don't know any better, and just fires that thing until it blows up. We see that all the time, and mostly, you know, there's so much for a 400 to a 450 feet per second, and now 500 feet per second crossbow. There's so much stuff going on in a little bitty 6-inch axle to axle thing, you know. But according to the model, like we've seen some R9s and 10s that'll get 400 to 500 shots out of them. We've seen some R20s and 29Xs that you might only get 200 shots out of, and you need to change the strings. But And then on the second group of people is the ones that shoot it 3 times and leave it cocked in their closet for half a day and say, oh, the axle's changed to 32nd. Oh, God. You know what I mean? So, anyway, 315 on the legit.
315.
Standing man's and got run out of the woods. He's watching us. Well, I'm glad you were tuned in, my friend.
Why'd you get run out of the woods? It ain't dark yet.
He said it's raining.
Oh. Bob gets in, what's a good budget handheld style release?
There's a couple.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy that B3 exit release.
Yep.
I also enjoy, even your True Ball, what's it called?
The
I'm trying to think
Max.
of it. Hunter, not Hunter, Max. Crap. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Somebody will put it in there, but it's about $100. It's decent.
I know they make the Fang 4 finger. I know that's a good one.
The Spot Hog, not Saturday night. The
Friday night, no.
Why can't I think of nothing? We've sold a bunch of them. Anyway, Spot Hog's got a nice one. I just can't think of the name of it.
Can't either.
Kiwi Bowman's having a charity shoot November the 20th. Go check out the Facebook page. I'll have to check it out myself. I'll throw a flyer up in the shop. If you're local, I'm sure if you're local and don't know about Kiwi Bowman, go to kiwibowman.com. It's our local club. They got some nice stuff going on up there.
Yeah, they do.
Really wanted to try the Whitetail Legend Pro before buying the legits, but my shop couldn't guarantee them before Christmas. Yeah, when July hit, most of our bow manufacturers were like, a lot of the bows are going to take like 12, 15, 18 weeks to get there, so we were kind of in a weird spot.
Yeah.
But luckily, when the rep came yesterday, some of the colors I had wrote down to order, he was like, we can order it, but they're not ready to ship. And some of them we switched around from like a real tree to a true timber or something different, you know, just so we could get it ordered. But what's going on, KJ?
What up? Zach gets in, says, I'm newer to archery and see friends on different pro staffs. Can you guys explain what that means? Is it something I should look into? This is a touchy subject among a lot of shops. It really is. We had a shooting staff.
We tried it. It was a big crop.
Yeah. We still have just a couple people that we still that I deal with.
With our strings, we selected about a dozen people. We put a big thing out. People sent in little applications we made. You know, here's what we pretty much in exchange for a free string set. We wanted people to help us promote them and this sort of thing. And then what would happen is they'd get their free string set and we'd never hear from them again.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next year they'd want another free string set, and we were like, you didn't hold up your end of the deal. So on one extreme, you see all these people. And we laugh at them, but, you know, in their Facebook profile, they're pro staff for blah, 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 you know, and it's like, come on now. And then on the other extreme, the people don't do anything. So it's a mess.
It's one of those,
Yeah, Richard put pro staff equals ego massage. That's right.
It's one of those if, like, basically you send in an application or a resume to them. And if they like you, you get a little discount with them. Is pretty much what it boils down to.
Yeah.
For me, it wouldn't do me any good working in the shop because I can shoot anything I want to. I pay for everything with my own money. I'm not sponsored. Me and Jeremy ain't sponsored. We don't get any kind of kickback from any bow companies or arrows or anything like that. I like Black Eagle arrows. So if I wanted to try to be on their shooting staff, I would have to go through, and all I'm going to get is a 15% discount off of them. That's it. And it's
here's where we run into trouble, and then I'll end it. Black Eagle's a good example. I love Black Eagle, but one of their flaws is pretty much anybody that sends in that stupid pro staff application, and I guess this is still the case, gets on it.
Mm-hmm.
So we'd have people come in here. For just an example, we had one guy that was in here talking to us, another guy come in wanting some Black Eagle arrows that we had on the wall, and this guy knew the first guy, and the first guy pulls him to the side and says, hey, I'm on their pro staff, I can get you a better deal. And they walk outside, and the guy orders them for him, and I called Black Eagle, and I'm like, hey, so-and-so was just in my shop, this is what went down, and they pretty much said deal with it. And I almost kicked Black Eagle to the side for that, but it was just a one-time thing, and I tried to not be a whatever, but I'll end my rant because I could say a whole lot more and call out some people, but I won't.
Oh yeah, it's if you do it for the right reasons.
Richard said if a product's worth having, then it's worth buying. I agree. Like if I was I'm with TJ, if I was going to be on a pro staff, it'd be something that I've already used and bought and believe in, not something like, hey, I'd like to try that release. Let me send them a BS thing and see if I can be on the pro staff, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So like I said, it's one of them. If you do it for the right reasons, we don't have any problem with it, but a lot of people do it for the wrong reasons. It's just for that little discount.
I got a couple questions on here. I just popped up. I got an Expedition Mako. It's fast, but wanted to find out more on the new models. We're not an Expedition dealer, so I'm not exactly sure.
I hadn't even seen nothing posted.
And then he posted again, anything on Expedition bows? We know nothing about them.
Yeah, no.
Anything on the PSC bows? Nothing yet. Other than they came out with a $1,900 carbon bow, and they're about a couple months out on shipping stuff.
Yeah. I think they heard something like first of the year before they'd even get them things out.
I know some people's got them because they sent me an email and was like, to the dealers and said, if you got one, it was the day before they released. Do not put any pictures of it out yet.
Let's see. Mike gets in with, give me an opinion on the Santalita bow versus the Bear Cruiser.
I mean, they're comparable bows, but ultimately the Cruiser's going to be a little bit better built. You know, Bear's a reputable company here in the United States. That Santalita bow's Chinese. So according to what you're doing with it, you know, if it's a kid, teenager, whatever, maybe go Santalita cheap. If it's something you don't need to worry about, go Bear.
Yep. Michael gets in with, give me some tips for bow shooting in the wind. I'd really like to have some tips myself on it. You know, pretty much your 20, 30 yards, you're really not going to see a whole lot of wind drift. You getting on some windy days, 40 plus yards, you're going to see a lot of wind drift, and it's one of those, as far as air and stuff like that, you're just going to have to compensate. Now shooting in like windy, I wish he'd said if it was target or hunting wise, or did he? Nope.
Yeah, I mean, like if it's tournament,
you're running that big 28-inch front bar.
Yeah, they call it a wind bar. Put a little 15 or 12 instead of that 28 and add a little more weight. If you're hunting, you kind of stuck with what you got.
Yeah.
I mean, other than practicing in it, it's just, being up in a tree, getting swayed around with a hunting bow is just kind of you there for the duration.
For the ride,
yeah.
So, it's hard to say practice in the wind because you don't know how bad the wind's going to blow from day to day or minute by minute. So,
have we tried the deep power broadhead from Amazon? No. I've thought about ordering a bunch of those random Amazon heads and maybe in one video being like, here's 6 models, and then doing our little testing and seeing how they hold up. I mean, I've had those Rage Amazons come through the shop, and to be honest, they were very comparable to the Rage broadheads themselves. And I wonder, the company that owns Rage is a big conglomerate that gets a bunch of stuff made in China, so I feel like it could potentially be the same company making Rage is making these knockoff ones. I don't know, but they look very, very close to the same. But I need to do a video on all that. Only thing I can say from China to absolutely not use is those lighted nocks.
Yeah.
John that helps us in there got some, and after 2 or 3 shots, the throat started opening up, and it'd be easy to dry fire a bow.
Yeah.
Let's see. One more question. Do you sell 3D targets, Alex? We don't have any right now, right?
Not that I know of.
We don't have any right now. We had some small ones, some little like raccoons and all that sort of stuff. I'm gonna look into. We're set up with Reinhardt and with R&W, and I'll look into getting some stuff. I'd really like. And TJ's been on me for this for years. I need to get. They make a miniature elk target, and it looks cool, and it sells for like a little over $200. I'd like to get some of them, a couple of deer, but right now is sort of our ordering season, so I'll see if I can't get us some stuff coming in. I hate to. you pay for what you get with a 3D target,
Yeah.
but a lot of people that come in don't understand that. They want an $80 3D target, but they don't understand when they leave it out in the weather, it's only going to last a couple months.
Mm-hmm.
I'd really rather stock the $200 and $300 stuff, but I just wonder if it'll sell. I don't know. What do y'all think?
Well, it's like I got a Glendale buck that I've had for years now. I need a new core for it. It's got the interchangeable core. They want almost more for the core than they do a brand new target. So I'm like,
Well, and another example, a guy that used to come in a lot had bought a bunch of those El Cheapo targets from somewhere. He kind of got out of shooting, and he was shooting a recurve. So he was like, do you want to buy these like 6 targets from me for almost nothing? I was like, sure. So we just took them and stuck them out here on our normal outdoor range, and they didn't even last that season. Like that 3-month period, they fell apart and in half. I just hate to sell that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Noah gets in with, what would you guys estimate the decrease in value of a bow is over a year? Example, I buy a new $1,000 bow this year. What's it worth in 12 months?
Let's put this in 2 categories. One is Matthews. Matthews will hold their value by far more than any other bow, and then let's put all other bows in another category. A Matthews, if you pay $1,000 for it this year, I'm gonna say you're gonna be around $750, $800 next year. Let's say PSE. If you buy a $1,000 PSE this year, it's probably gonna be worth about 50% next year. And with most other bows, Hoyt kind of holds their value, but not quite as good as Matthews, and some of the bigger brands, Bowtech, Hoyt. But I mean, even we were talking about this a while ago. Matthews got so, and we're not a Matthews dealer, but Matthews got so far backed up on shipping bows, a lot of the dealers are now getting these huge shipments that they needed to get 2 months ago or a month ago. And I've seen on Facebook these places in Alabama and Georgia, they're blowing out Matthews because they know in a month the new ones are coming out.
Yep.
And I mean, I've seen $850 and $900 new V3s on Facebook, new from a dealer, because they know they're in a bind and they need to get them out the door because the new ones are fixing to come out.
Yep.
But anyway, so Matthews, it's going to go down about $200 in value. A lot of other bows is going to go down pretty dang near 50%.
Mm-hmm. And another thing is too, is accessories on the bow. People used to think because if you put, a $200 sight on there, that sight kept the value of the bow up. Well, not really anymore. It don't work that way.
Yeah, it's and it's another weird thing. Like right before hunting season, I've seen this on Facebook and Craigslist and that sort of thing. I've seen people list junk bows from 20 years ago with a few arrows. It pretty much put ready to hunt package, and they've got ungodly amounts for bows just because people don't know any better and they need a bow that can go hunt.
Yep.
And I mean, we've had people even come in that's bought those for 2 or 3 times what they're worth, and they think it's sighted in, ready to go. They don't know any better.
Yep.
They just want to hunt, and the guy told them it's a package, and he sighted it in, and they didn't even shot it. And it's like, man, we need to talk.
Yeah.
Brand new to arrow building. Can I build a 600 grain arrow with a 150 grain head, or I need something like 2 to 3? No, you could do it with 100 to 150.
Yeah.
You could do it pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. I mean, you could get, I'm just going to throw out an arrow like a Black Eagle Rampage 250.
Mm-hmm.
Probably put a 150 up front, or just run 100 grain and put a weight in the back of the insert, and you'd be all over that 600 grain number.
Let's see here.
Alex said, what's our range hours? Just when we're open, 12 to 6 during the week and 10 to 5 on Saturday.
Yep.
And we just an outdoor range. We're looking into indoor situation, but not yet. We haven't got it yet.
Yeah. Any word on the 2022 prime bows? That comes in from Lucas.
Not yet. I'm kind of waiting. What is this, October? Probably in a couple of weeks I might hear a few things, but I do know the links of them, but I can't. I've been sworn to secrecy, but it's nothing outstanding that I'm excited about. So
yeah. Let's see. Will asked, what broadhead y'all testing this week?
We are testing. What are we testing? I forgot.
Are we doing the SICK F4?
I think we're doing
or
this.
F3.
I think that's where we're at. the fixed blade sick.
Mm-hmm.
It looks kind of like the DRT. We're just curious because it is very similar in the way that DRT did so good. I'm curious to see if that broadhead.
No, it's the 3-blade.
Oh, we're doing 3-blade?
Yeah, because we don't have the other ones.
Okay, cancel that. F3. And then what week is it? Is this week 4 of this series?
I think so, because we did 1, 2. Yeah, this will be number 4.
Sort of our plan is we're going to go to 6 weeks again, do a little recap video, and then we got a whole huge bundle of random broadheads people sent in, but they're not like new in the package, so I'm scared to do like a test or review because I don't want the companies or anybody to say, oh, you didn't take them out of the package. So we're just going to take a ton of broadheads and go through them in one video. You know, it'll be like, you know, this is this broadhead, whatever, but just kind of give a disclaimer. Somebody's shooting nearby with a gun. You know, these were not new in the package and that sort of thing, but that's coming up soon.
Mm-hmm.
The Hunting Public recently posted a video of them buying. We watched it a while ago.
Yep.
A $50 bear whitetail 2 off of eBay and killing a deer with it. I thought that was cool because I have been telling people for years. They come in here, oh my God, my bow's not shooting 300 feet per second. I'll never kill a deer. And I'm like, listen, I went up to DeWitt's and bought a Browning bow in 1996 that was shooting 170 feet per second and went and killed a deer at 35 yards. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't know. But yeah, that is a great video. That's something I need to play like on our screen in our showroom in there because it was great. But I didn't get to where I enjoy the Hunting Public pretty good. A lot of people were coming in talking about them, and I'd seen a few videos, and now TJ's got to where he'll put it on a lot on our TV back here in the workroom, and I like them, and that Seek one's good.
Seek one's good. Let's see. James gets in with, I have a squeak in my cam, am I okay to oil it? It's a 50-50 on oil. I would almost rather say take it to a shop, let them knock the axle out, and put some white lithium grease on there.
Yeah. If I was going to oil it, I'd get one of them little oil pins that has the little needle tip because you're just going to track dirt. Yep. I agree with TJ. If I had any chance at all, I'd go let somebody lithium grease it. I'd feel better about it, but... let's see. Have we got any of the 3-blade VPA broadheads to test? Machined, not molded, and cheaper than a Montac? No, we don't. But I might have to add that to the list. That's like the Magnus broadheads. We've been trying to get them for weeks and weeks, and they're backed up. So I want to test them, but it might be a while till we can get some.
Alex gets in with, I'm extremely new to all this. Can you guys tell me the purpose of string wax and how to use it? String wax, what it does is it helps keep the fibers soft in the string. So everybody asks, you know, how often do you wax your string? Well, there is no right or wrong answer. It's depending on how much you shoot. Most of the time you want to wax your string between every 250 to 500 shots, just depending on how much you shoot. And you want to put it on the unserved portion of the string, or say you got a flow orange string, put it on the flow orange and not like on the black serving. And then, you know, you can just rub it on. Once you get it on, just take your fingers and kind of heat that wax up, and it'll actually sink into the fibers. And, you know, it just helps the life of that string and everything.
I mean, I know some people that never, I'm kind of guilty of this, to be honest.
Me too.
I hardly ever wax my stuff. I know some people that lay it to it. Just don't put it on the serving. We have folks come in here and it'll be caked in the serving, and it gets in the cam and all around the cam track. That's not good. So anywhere it's not wrapped, you want to wax it. You know, it just lubricates those fibers. It does make the string last a little longer, but yeah, I used to work on a ton of whitetail 2s, and then I'd say in the last 10 years, I've slowly just fewer and fewer and fewer, and I hadn't even seen one in a couple of years. But we had, I'm trying to think we had a couple Proline bows come through this year. I hadn't seen any of those in a few years. I love still seeing those come through.
There's a Browning Boss Vortex, Boss Vortex in there. We're restringing.
Just some good old stuff.
Jack gets in with, I started shooting about 9 months ago. I don't see tons of improvement when I practice now. Am I shooting too much? I shoot daily. Or any tips?
You can over practice, but I feel like when you first start, your practice time versus you getting better is a big, each time you practice, you're getting a lot better. But at some certain point, it's like you're going to see very, very, very little improvement, or it's just going to be more of a muscle memory routine thing you're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I definitely think you can shoot too much. I don't know if you're there yet, being newer, but it's just a fine line. You know what I mean? If you're feeling achy, or if you're shooting so much, your arms or shoulders or whatever's hurting, that's probably too much. And maybe just put it down for who was shooting? Somebody close to here is shooting a gun. I mean, like really close. Might have to fire a warning arrow. But put it down for a couple days and then come back to it and just see what happens. You know what I mean? It's there's been times where I've practiced a lot and felt like it's helped me, and there's been times where I hadn't picked a bow up or my personal bow up in 2 or 3 months and shot, and I shoot good, and I'm like, maybe sitting it down was good, So
I kind of one of these. I wonder what he's practicing on. Is he practicing like on a Vegas, just a single, standard dot, or 3D, something like that,
Yeah.
just to see, because I can go from 3D and be shooting decent and go try to shoot indoor with not a lot of practice because I don't get time to shoot, but and do horrible on a Vegas round because I'm not indoors, and paper targets ain't my thing. I can shoot them, but I'd much rather do 3D.
You're welcome, KJ. Did she like it? KJ or Kenneth Karowski that's on here, his wife talked him into moving to Vermont. So they moved to Vermont, about 2 years ago, maybe 2-3 years ago. Anyway, she wanted a Bear Royale, so we put a fancy string on it and got them a little package together and shipped it up there.
That's all the questions I got.
That is all we got. Let me do some digging here and see if anybody else I've missed. They still shooting. I don't know what they're doing.
That's coming from behind us. That's Max and them.
I wonder what they'd do if a flaming arrow suddenly came over. They'd know who it was.
Yeah.
Good. She said she loves it. Heck yeah. Trying to think what else is coming up. We're finally, I hate saying we're getting into the slow season because we still got a bunch of bows to work on and people dropping them off, but compared to what a month and a half ago, it's slowed down, thank God.
It's starting to slow down big time.
Jeremy looks like he's losing weight. I did lose some weight and I gained a little bit back. I ran this little thing they have in town, a little 5K thing. I hadn't ran in a long time. I got into that, and then that was a month ago or so. I got to get to running again. Yeah, we got more. What do you call somebody from Vermont? Vermonteers?
Yeah, Shane and.
Yeah, he just popped up.
Yeah.
On Ghost 802. Y'all need to go live on y'all's page, Shane. We'll send some people over there.
Your strings are ready in there for that bow. We just got to get them in the mail. It's been crazy this past couple weeks. Been short-handed in the shop, but hopefully they'll get out this week.
Yeah, Perry said, let's see, he said his draw's 30.5. He's shooting 60 pounds, 300 spine. He's got 550 total.
Well, I did the air build. I didn't keep it together because it was crazy.
I should have videoed it.
I can still do it. I still got full-length airs and everything, but I ended up taking a 150 spine Rampage. I left it full length. I had it fletched with a 3 fletch with the tack. Which ones were they? I can't remember, but 2 3/4 vanes. 100 and I think it was 150 grain field tip. They're bone crusher half out, and I ended up having 100. I had 100, almost 200 grains worth of brass weight in the back of it. I got it built up. It was 1,025 grain total. So I took the old Hoyt that we do our broadhead test with, and because that's the only one I got here. It's 30-inch draw, 67 pounds. I shot it through the chronograph, and 186 is what it equaled out to. That is probably the weirdest feeling of a bow that I've ever shot, because it literally, the string comes forward and it literally pushes the bow forward. But the bow was super duper quiet. It was just slow, and it was just weird feeling. So I'll redo it one day so we can get it on video, and may try it out at the prime since it's at 31-inch draw. But yeah, I built 1,025 grain air at 186 feet per second at 67 pounds.
Man,
it was crazy.
What do we think of the Obsession TM33? I think for the money, it's a decent bow.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. I think it's a decent bow. Man, let's see. But yeah, hopefully bear stuff coming in soon. Prime should know more about it in the coming weeks. I guess in November we'll know more about Hoyt and Matthews. As far as the ATA show goes, we've heard that Matthews and Bowtech has pulled out. Hoyt's pending a pullout. So I don't even know if that show's going to happen again this year.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the companies are saying they're full all in, and some companies are saying we can save $300,000 and not go and do something else with that money. So I don't know if that'll happen or not. But yeah, we need to take that 1,000 grain arrow and put about 5 or 10 sheets of some old junk plywood out there and just see if it'll drive through there. Do you need a special rest for the 4-fletch arrows, or with a whisker biscuit, or try a whisker biscuit would work, but I guess one of the biscuits with the 3 things wouldn't work because you wouldn't be able to line it up. But just a regular biscuit would be fine.
Yeah.
Or a drop away or anything like that. But the 3 contact points would freak it out.
The new, what are they, the V Max or whatever, the V's, you'd have to stay away from them.
Or the Octane style or whatever. But let's see if anybody's over here. Nope. Okay. I can't think of nothing else going on.
No, can't either. It's that, everybody talks about the October lull in deer hunting. This is kind of the archery lull a little bit, because you got a few companies releasing and everything's kind of getting quiet with deer season, and then it's fixing to ramp up in another month or 2.
Yeah, we'll get ready for Christmas and all that stuff, so that'll be good. Have you guys heard of putting salt in the arrow shaft to add weight? I have not heard of that.
Me neither.
Because I wonder, I guess you pack it in there? Because if you just randomly put salt, it would move when you shot. I don't know. I hadn't heard of that one.
Me neither.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it is.
I did one time when we was at Bucks and Bass. A buddy of mine that worked there, old Fred, wanted to mess with him, so I took his coffee and filled his arrow up with coffee. And what I was meaning for it to do was just to hit real low and him be like, what in the world's going on? This arrow ain't... But what happened was the knock blew out when he shot and covered him in coffee in the face. It was funny either way, but...
I figured you were going to say the coffee creamer trick.
No.
We can't say that one.
I'll tell you something that was cool we need to do on a video in slow-mo. This would be a good slow-motion video. I took I took shaving cream.
Oh, man.
And I shot it with an arrow, and that thing just... But anyway.
Yeah, because we thought we were definitely screwed the next morning.
Barry said you can salt your meat on every shot. Yep. But we'll get off here and leave y'all alone for the evening. Yeah, like a slap hammer. That's like Partain. John helps us. I don't know what he was exactly thinking, but he wanted to see what weight would do in his arrow, and for whatever reason, and if I'd have been paying attention or been there with him, I'd have told him, don't do this, but he just took the weight and chunked it down in the arrow and didn't attach it to the insert. So when he shot, and I was like, well, what did you think was going to happen? But anyway, we'll get off here
Yep.
and let y'all get to it. We're gonna find some supper and do all that stuff. But if you need anything, holler at us.
Yep.
I know we'll have our Saturday and Sunday and whatever videos of broadheads and that sort of thing. I don't know what else we got coming up. We'll get some more videos coming up soon. And y'all have a good weekend too, Richard. You said you could shoot. You said you should be getting the 2022 Bears bows. Shop Bear and Florida said they won't get 20. I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah.
Because they told us 75% of what we ordered. We ordered 50-something bows that they were in stock and would ship soon. So I know within a month we'll have them. Like if it goes kind of like similar to last year, probably 2 or 3 weeks we'll start getting them. But
yeah.
The shopping, and to my knowledge, you know, Bear don't really, you know, if it's a even smaller shop, I don't think they do anything. So I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah.
Because the rep, when he was here, had the quantities on his computer of what they had ready to ship. So
now I know our rep said something about they was not releasing some stuff till January at the ATA shop.
Mainly some crossbows.
Some crossbows.
But now, if he's getting it from a distributor, not direct from Bear, that could be a whole nother story.
It could be.
That could maybe what's what he's doing. We stock hogs on Corey Engineer property, waiting until after deer season to get back there. But yeah, that's all I could think it would be. But
yeah,
y'all have a good evening.
Yep.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see y'all here in the next day or two.
See y'all.